and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage for a service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Yes, it is the Tuesday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan on the other side of the glass, ready to hang out with you here today, the day after. The day after the Phoenix Suns season comes to an end. And I would say the real work for the Phoenix Suns begins today and throughout the rest of the summer. So we'll do a debrief on that. The Cardinals may have a running back problem that we'll discuss. And how concerned are we about Merrill Kelly? We'll get to it all here today. The phone number for you to get involved with us, 480-864-1060. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. It's a sad day, not just because the Phoenix Suns season is over. The NFL News Dump has its last hurrah today here on the program in hour number 2. It's the last news dump for a little bit.
So sad.
I put it in the tease for the show today.
You did. You did. The last news dump.
For a while.
I got to be honest, though, after this week, I don't know what we talk about for a little bit. Are we going to bring it back first day of free agency?
First day of training camp?
First day of training camp.
Yeah, I think around the training camp is when the news dump will return. So the news dump's going to go out with a bang today. The Phoenix Suns season, I wouldn't say it went out with a bang, but it did go out last night as they were swept at the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I think it is well within your right to feel two different emotions today. In fact, I think you should feel two different emotions today.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Excitement or appreciation and disappointment. Those are the emotions that I feel today about this Phoenix Suns season. And I think those are the emotions that you should feel today. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. You are well within your rights as a sports fan to feel however you want to feel about this season. But I know how I feel today. And it's those two emotions. It's the appreciation at first for what this season was, and it is the disappointment for how it ended. Because let's face it, when we started this whole journey back in October, we thought that they would win more than their 30 and a half games in Vegas. But even I, one of the more optimistic people about what this Suns season could be, didn't have this on the bingo card. I did not think 45 wins was going to be on the table. I did not think threatening for large chunks of the season for a top 6 seed, at moments looking like a team that could be a top 5, top 4 team in the Western Conference. I didn't think any of that was possible. I thought the team would be better. I thought the team would win more games than they did a year ago, but I didn't expect them to be in the postseason as comfortably as they were, to threaten to be so much more. And you know what? A lot of times we hear from owners, from GMs, from coaches. We hear from those three power brokers, and they tell us about the things they want to do in their roles, the team they want to create, the team they want to put together, whether it's Matt Ishbia, whether it's Brian Gregory, whether it's Jordan Knott. We were told over and over and over again what they wanted this team to be. And so the appreciation that I feel today that the season is over is that they lived up to what they said this team was going to be. Trust me, you've been watching sports long enough. I've been watching sports long enough. There's plenty of examples. There's plenty of examples with this franchise in particular of them telling you what they are going to be and then being something completely different. Matt Ishbia told us at the end of last year that they were going to build a basketball team that we could all be proud of, that we would enjoy watching, that we would never question the effort of, that we would know exactly what to expect, game in, game out, night in, and night out. They did all of that this year. Not just because they won the 45 games and way exceeded expectations. The Phoenix Suns became a team that you wanted to watch, even when Jordan Knott made a coaching decision you didn't agree with, even when Jordan Knott maybe used a challenge in a wrong spot, or they blew a game with 4 minutes to go. You still showed up the next day to watch because you believed this team could be a whole lot more than what you thought they could be at the beginning of the season. This team is a team that you were proud of, that you wanted to see, that had an identity that you could very clearly describe to others. You knew what the Phoenix Suns were all about. They did it. That's where the appreciation for what this season was. That's that emotion that I feel today. But it's that second emotion. It is the disappointment with the way the last month and a half of the season went. From about the middle of February through the end of the regular season, through the play-in loss to Portland, through getting swept last night by Oklahoma City, the disappointment that you feel from the last month and a half, the disappointment that you feel about not beating Portland and avoiding OKC altogether, the disappointment that you feel that this team got swept last night by Oklahoma City, that's the emotion that tells you this team is on the right track. That is the emotion that tells you they've got the right people in charge. That's the emotion that tells you they've lived up to what they said they were going to do, because we all came into this season with zero expectations. Zero, none. We end the season thinking that it could have been more. That is a drastic change of scenery. That is a drastic improvement in fan morale, in team morale, in the overall expectations. Remember how this team was talked about last summer. I can guarantee you today they will not be spoken about that way this summer. In fact, I'm already seeing the national conversation about what more this team needs to do to take that next step. There's already this assumption that they are in this mix in the Western Conference, and now they need to take that next step to firmly put themselves into what we've called the next tax bracket, firmly a top 6 team year in and year out. So that disappointment that you feel today, that I feel today, kind of came to terms with it yesterday. That feeling tells you they got this mostly right. It wasn't perfect. It had its fair share of problems. There are a ton of questions for this franchise to answer starting now. There's a lot of work to be done, but they've also accomplished a lot in just less than a year. It's been less than a year since they traded Kevin Durant. It's been less than a year since they drafted Kaman Malawach and Rasheer Fleming. And I kind of chuckled last night that the minutes that Rasheer Fleming got during this game were some of the more energetic minutes that you saw in the game last night. And some of the minutes where the crowd was the most into the game, because that crowd, for large portions of it, felt like you were at a funeral. It's kind of accepting as to what was going to happen last night. But the Suns in the last 2 games of this series showed fight. Ultimately, they fell short. They were overmatched. They were injured. They just didn't have the guys to be able to keep pace with Oklahoma City. And as we said yesterday, that is okay. It is okay to feel appreciation today for what the season was. It also is okay to be disappointed in how it ended. Both of those feelings, I think, are real. I think they're acceptable. I think they're understandable. And I think they are an accurate reflection of what this season was. But now the real work begins for the Phoenix Suns. Because now, with what Jordan Knott, Brian Gregory and Matt Ishbia were able to accomplish in less than a year, taking this team from where they were considered last summer to where they are now going into the offseason, they now have to wrestle with and grapple with real expectations. They did all of this with no expectations. It's easy, or it's easier to accomplish more. It's easier to be excited about. It is easier to feel accomplished, to feel appreciation when you're starting as low as the Phoenix Suns were at the beginning of this year. But now there's actual expectations. You now, as a head coach, have a 45-win season you've got to build off of. As a general manager in your second ever offseason, you've now got to build on top of you won 45 games. You are a playoff team. That is now your new ground floor. It's not missed the playoffs with KD, got to waive and stretch Bradley Beal, don't have any of our draft capital, the team is a mess, have to completely reinvent the identity. That was where you were working from last year. You've completely reinvented this organization. Now there are serious expectations that come with being the GM and head coach of this team. And so now the real work begins. But those are the two emotions that I feel today, that I think you should feel today, because I think they are the two emotions that sum up what this whole journey this year has been about.
I think the one thing you said that I kind of want to harp on is they had a very different feel this year. You were excited to watch Suns basketball night in and night out. You looked forward to seeing them play. Even in that last month and a half, it was always the question of, okay, when am I going to see them make this adjustment? And we never did. In all honesty, we never saw them make that adjustment, which was frustrating in its own right. But for a while, they were never not entertaining to watch. I think the games that I got the least excited for were the last two of the season. The last two against Oklahoma City, because they just felt outmatched. But other than that, comparable to how it was the year prior, there was never a point where I was dreading watching the Suns.
No, and last year you dreaded. Last year in the second half of the season, I mean,
they were unwatchable.
They were unwatchable.
Matt Ishbia tweeted today, "Losing is never easy, but I feel really good today about our team, and I'm already thinking about where we can go from here. I'm so proud of this season. I want to thank every single person who made this year possible. First, thank you to the fans who supported our team every single day, and the players, coaches, front office, and entire organization who worked so hard to give our community a team to be proud of. So many fans have told me how much they love cheering on this team, and we're proud that we competed for 48 minutes every game. This season introduced a new era of Suns basketball, and we have a lot more work to do, which I am truly excited about, and we are just getting started."
I co-sign that 100%. I mean, last year, towards the end, it was a chore to watch this team. And this is what we do for a living. It was a chore to watch them play basketball. I mean, it was really tough. Like, it was really difficult to sit down and watch this team knowing that they're not going anywhere, even if they're able to sneak into the play-in. Knowing that they just wasted all of this talent that they had, that they were making some of the same mistakes over and over and over again. You could see when it was going to slide off the rails. You could see when the wheels were going to fall off the car, because you had watched it all season long. You could see the telltale signs at the end of third quarters going into the fourth quarter, and you just knew they're going to lose this game. They're going to find a way to lose this game because they've been doing it so much this season. This year, you never felt that way. Never felt like it was a chore. It never felt like they didn't care. It never felt like they were not getting the most out of the roster. In fact, you could argue the opposite with how many injuries they had, with just how difficult it was to construct a roster off of a summer in which you trade KD and you waive and stretch Bradley Beal. They exceeded probably what the roster was able to give them at times. I mean, it was a very impressive job by everybody, the players, the coaches, the front office. Everybody involved deserves a round of applause for what they were able to get out of this season. That does not excuse the way the season ended. It does not excuse getting swept in the first round by Oklahoma City. It does not excuse that there is a lot of work to be done and a lot of questions to be answered to now take the next step. You took the big first step. Credit where credit is due. You did that. But now, because you took that step, people think you can take more. I think you can take more. So you got to start to see those steps be taken this summer. You just do. And that's the work that now starts today. That's the work that starts now over the coming weeks and months in the summertime. Lots of questions to be answered. Lots of big questions to be answered. Lots of free agents that the team has to decide on. Have to figure out what financials they have, what picks they want to move that they can move now. All of it up in the air, and we'll keep a close eye on it. But this should be a very, very fun. And unlike last year, I think you kind of dreaded the offseason because you knew what it was going to entail, but it was just, you wanted to just be done with it. This offseason there's excitement because now there's going to be a new roster in town. There's going to be some changes that get made to this team. And coming off of a 45-win season, you feel like there's an opportunity here. And that gets you excited for what this team could ultimately do in the summer to try to build off of 45 wins this year and go into the postseason so that next year they're not in the play-in. They're one of those top 6 teams guaranteed. So, yeah, it came to an end last night. Unfortunately, it looked the same as the other 4 games. Just Oklahoma City was too much for them. They certainly fought. They didn't roll over. That wasn't a team that was giving up. They gave it their all. But ultimately, they fell short because they just aren't as talented as Oklahoma City, and that's okay. Now the work to bridge that gap begins this summer. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, do the Cardinals have themselves a running back problem? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Life can change in an instant. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can feel overwhelming. The pain, the stress, and the uncertainty of what comes next. You don't have to go through it alone. The attorneys at Sweet James understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact an accident can have. They're here to help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to under the law. When you call Sweet James, you're connecting with a team of attorneys experienced in handling serious injury cases. Their work is driven by preparation, advocacy, and a genuine commitment to helping clients seek accountability and justice. Every case is different, and outcomes depend on the specific facts involved. If you've been injured in an accident, call the attorneys at Sweet James for your free case review. They handle everything for you so you can focus on healing. That's the Sweet James advantage. Help available 24/7. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Bob Dylan in person. One night only. June 23rd, Arizona Financial Theater. Bob Dylan. Plus Lucinda Williams and her band. And the John Doe Folk Trio. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Bob Dylan Live, plus Lucinda Williams and her band, and the John Doe Folk Trio. Show starts promptly at 7 p.m.
When I scraped my car in that parking garage, I was worried that it could be a long process to take care of it. Like a landscaper's first day trimming a hedge maze.
I have definitely already been here. Now, was it left, right, or right, left? Well, maybe I'll cut a path out and find my way back later.
But it wasn't like that. I filed a claim in under 2 minutes on the Geico app, and they handled it from there. It was taken care of almost as quickly as it happened.
It feels good to get help quick. It feels good to Geico.
Alex Cora and his staff is going to jumpstart their season. They are begging. The Red Sox are garbage on the field, and they're even worse off it. And Cora was not the problem. Nor is firing him going to fix anything, and ownership is lying to itself if it thinks it will. Then again, when was the last time this organization did the right thing? From best owner the franchise has ever had to the worst. Congrats, John Henry. That's not easy to do. And that's not just me popping off. Go ask any of your players how they feel about the move. Oh, that's right. You don't care. Because when you and your henchmen dropped that bomb on them, they weren't allowed to even ask any questions. Nice transparency. Way to shoot your guys straight. And by that, I mean stab them right in the back. Hey, John, you're no longer in it to win it, so sell the team to somebody who is. Your fans and your players deserve a hell of a lot better than you. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Jim Rome here. True story. I married the best person I've ever met, Janet, and we've been married a long time. And the one thing that she loves above all else, I kid you not, pictures. She's constantly taking pictures of everybody and everything. Can't get enough of them. So I found the best gift ever, Aura Frames. Save on gifts that moms love at auraframes.com. For a limited time, get $25 off the Carver mat frame with code ROME. Support the show by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. That's code ROME at auraframes.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
ASU Weekend Baseball happening over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils on the diamond this Friday as they travel to Florida to take on UCF. Head coach Philippe Bloomquist is ready to start off May baseball with a road win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's game 1 between ASU and the University of Central Florida. Pregame at 2:45 p.m. and first pitch at 3 over on KAZG 1440.
I don't know if you've heard, Producer Evan, but the Arizona Cardinals selected Jeremiah Love with the number 3 overall pick. It's a pretty big deal.
They took a running back.
They did. They took a running back number 3. I think everybody has weighed in on this, how they feel about it. I know we certainly did. Yesterday, on Friday, after they made the pick. And it has perhaps caused a little bit of a concern for the Cardinals way before OTAs and way before training camp even begins. Because Adam Schefter, on his podcast, I think it was yesterday when he dropped this. I listened to it late in the day yesterday and then again this morning. He said that when Tyler Algier signed with Arizona, he was doing so under the guise that he was going to be the lead back, that he was going to get out from being behind Bijan Robinson in Atlanta. He felt like, I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can be a powerhouse number 1 running back. I can be a bell cow lead guy. You can trust me with 20-plus carries a game. I don't fumble the football. I'm ready for the big stage. I'm ready for the bright lights. I'm ready to be RB1. And so he hit free agency looking for a place that he thought could be that for him. And the place that he settled in free agency was on the Arizona Cardinals. And he did so knowing that they've got James Conner on the roster. They've got Trey Benson on the roster. But again, he must have gotten some type of reassurance in his communications with Monty and with Mike LaFleur. He must have felt good about the idea that he's going to get every chance to be that lead back. Well, the Cardinals just took a running back number 3 overall in the 2026 NFL draft. One would think, common sense tells you, that Jeremiah Love's going to see the ball quite a bit in his rookie campaign. And so do they already have a problem for Mike LaFleur to deal with before training camp even begins? Does he already have potentially a disgruntled room that he's going to have to manage before he even coaches up a practice, before he even plays a preseason game? Is there already a problem? Is there already trouble brewing? Because listen, if I'm Tyler Algier, I can see the writing on the wall. You just took Jeremiah Love number 3 overall. He's going to get a lot of the work. I am, even if I do get a decent amount of work, even if I have a good role on this team, it's going to be pretty much what I had in Atlanta with Bijan Robinson. The situation I was trying to get out of, I'm now just back into. That probably doesn't make me feel good. And if I was told, now I don't know what Tyler Algier was told, but I assume he was told he's going to have a premium role in this offense. Do I feel like I was lied to? Or do I trust my coaches that they're going to put me in a position to succeed? That's one way to look at what Adam Schefter said yesterday. The other way to look at it, does this mean that Jeremiah Love is not going to be a bell cow lead back, touching the ball 3 downs over and over and over again? Because they have Algier, because apparently he came to Arizona thinking that he was going to be the lead back, looking for this role, and Arizona was the place that he felt like he was going to get it? So does this change how much of the field Jeremiah Love is going to see in year one? Does it change the role that he is going to find himself in, the role that we probably thought he was going to be in when he got drafted number 3 overall? Does it change a little bit? If you're somebody who plays fantasy football and you're thinking about drafting Jeremiah Love, does this kind of change your outlook on how involved Jeremiah Love and or Tyler Algier are going to be in this offense? And the other question that popped into my mind, is this another example of this front office not having a clue what they're doing? Signing a running back, apparently under the guise that he's going to have a top role. He's going to be a very important piece to this offense. And less than 3 months later, that situation has drastically changed. And you knew if you were the Cardinals where you were picking when you signed Tyler Algier. You knew that there was a pretty good chance that Jeremiah Love was going to be available to you with the number 3 overall pick. So you could have had the knowledge ahead of time to know that you might have found yourself in this situation. You didn't just do your draft prep in the last couple of weeks. When you signed Tyler Algier, you were deep in getting ready for the draft. So you probably had an inclination as to how everybody in the room felt about Jeremiah Love, how you felt about Jeremiah Love, how Mike LaFleur felt about Jeremiah Love. And this was the other thing I thought of. I think this turns up the pressure on Mike LaFleur to get this offense humming right away. You can't have a learning curve. You can't have a bumpy start. You have to have this offense look like a well-oiled machine. You've got to know how you're going to use Jeremiah Love. You've got to know how I'm going to use Tyler Algier, how I'm going to use James Conner, how I'm going to backs, how am I going to use my wide receivers? I mean, the offense for a rookie head coach feels like it's already under pressure of being a well-oiled machine before a snap of football takes place, because you can kind of see a problem coming. A wide receiver. You can put him in the slot. You can move him all over the place. You don't have to necessarily always put him in the backfield. So there's going to be opportunities to have both of these guys on the field at the same time. And sure, I'm sure Mike LaFleur is creative enough to find ways to get both of these guys on the field. But you signed a player with him thinking he's going to have one role, and unfortunately, the rug has been pulled out from underneath him. And so to me, this puts a lot of pressure on LaFleur to keep all of these guys happy right away. To give Algier what he's looking for, to give Jeremiah Love what he's looking for, to use Jeremiah Love enough to warrant him being the number 3 overall pick. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it's a running back, and I know running backs aren't on the field every single down, but you drafted somebody number 3 overall as a playmaker. This dude can't take a bunch of snaps off. I mean, Jeremiah Love's got to be on the field. I'm not sacrificing Jeremiah Love snaps for Tyler Algier snaps. Just not doing it. Jeremiah Love's supposed to be this explosive home run hitter, playmaker, difference maker that's going to completely change this offense. Well, if that's the case, he very rarely should be off the field. And because he's a good pass catcher, he should be a 3-down back. Because he can protect, he should be a 3-down back. He should be out there most of the time. This is just not a position where you want to have this type of question mark, this type of controversy or concern. This is the running back room on your team. This is not normally a source of concern, a source of controversy, a source of issue or problem. That's not what's supposed to happen here. But apparently, Tyler Algier signed here thinking one thing. Well, I'm here to tell you that changed. That changed the moment they took Jeremiah Love, number 3 overall. So now it's up to Mike LaFleur to potentially, we don't know, situation to get everybody on the same page. The way you do that, you got to find success early as an offense. If it's clunky, if there's a learning bumpy at the start, guys, their roles are really kind of unclear, undefined, and we're watching the game and we're like, why are they doing this instead of that? This offense needs to be humming at the start of the season. That puts a lot of pressure on a rookie head coach on his side of the ball to get this thing going right away. Again, just another example of an offseason plan that I don't think had a straight line that it wanted to go in. I don't know how concrete their plan was. It felt very all over the place. It felt like they wanted to go all in on Malik Willis. When it didn't happen, there was a pivot plan, and they thought Algier made sense. And then they kind of went back to the draft board, and then they were like, well, we kind of like Jeremiah Love, and we'll just kick that can down the road. We'll figure it out later. Well, guess what? Training camp's going to show up here, and this is going to be Mike LaFleur's problem in year 1 to figure out. And I like LaFleur, and I think he's a smart offensive mind. So if there is somebody that's going to be able to figure it out, I think it would be him. I would much rather him in this spot than Jonathan Gannon with Drew Petzing. You don't want to add more issues to a first-year head coach's plate. You don't want to make it more difficult for him to find success. And I wonder if that's what this situation could cause. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, the Diamondbacks start a 6-game road trip tonight, although technically an extension of their road trip down to Mexico City. But a 6-game road trip starts tonight. Merrill Kelly on the mound. Can he bounce back? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band.
Your man is working hard.
Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. The Salt River Grand Ballroom at Talking Stick Resort. The Gene Simmons Band performing your favorite classic hits. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
On May 3rd, experience the hits, the history, and the harmony that defined a generation. War, live at Stargazer Pavilion at Cliff Castle Casino Hotel. After decades of iconic hits, you can watch War live at Cliff Castle on May 3rd. With tickets starting at just $45, get yours today at cliffcastlecasinohotel.com or at the Hunt and Gather gift shop.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hello?
Hey sis, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsburg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at hellsburg.com.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State head basketball coach.
I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ispia. And that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him. Number two,
so they offered you the head coaching job?
Yeah, we talked seriously about it, let's say that.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today here on the show. The Diamondbacks start a 6-game road trip. They're in Milwaukee for 3 starting tonight. Then it is 3 over the weekend against the Cubs. And they're back starting on Tuesday for a set against the Pittsburgh Pirates. It'll be Merrill Kelly going tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the last time out for Merrill Kelly, well, let's just say it wasn't great. Let's just say the last time Merrill Kelly took the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks left a lot to be desired. 8 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed in just 4 1/3 against the Chicago White Sox. And Merrill Kelly has allowed 10 earned runs in the 9 2/3 innings that he's pitched over his 2 starts, an ERA of 9.31 in the 2 starts so far this season. So that leads to what I think is a pretty obvious question. Are we concerned about the Arizona Diamondbacks starter Merrill Kelly? Are we worried about the start for Merrill Kelly? You never like to see the guy that was one of your major free agent acquisitions, one of the rare places where you actually spent a decent amount of money. Because remember, the Diamondbacks, they didn't spend a ton of money this offseason in terms of big dollar contracts. They traded for Nolan Arenado's deal. They signed Carlos Santana to a small deal. Jonathan Loaizaga. They made a lot of moves. They changed a lot of pieces on this team. But the 2 big moves that they made were bringing back Merrill Kelly on a multi-year deal and bringing back Zach Gallen on a deal close to the qualifying offer that he rejected, right? Those were their big ticket items, okay? And so when one of your big ticket items has an ERA north of 9, I'm sure some natural concern creeps in. But I want to tell you why I'm not concerned about Merrill Kelly. You have to remember, Merrill Kelly did not get a full spring. He did not go through a full ramp up from the beginning of spring all the way back at the end of January, up and through the end of March, working on the side, working in the lab, working with all the radar tools, working with all of the video tools and refining his stuff and going through the process of, okay, we're going to do this day. And then our first start, we're going to throw this many pitches. And then we're going to work on X, Y, and Z. And then we're going to ramp up. And he didn't have any of that. He didn't get that natural ramp up that you get all throughout spring. He got hurt along the way. He got sidelined along the way. And his work to come back to the big league level hasn't been your typical rehab process where you go out on minor league rehab assignments, you make starts kind of all the way through up the system, and then when you're ready, you're ready. I think he made, one, maybe two minor league appearances. Then he threw a game on the side up here, and then they felt like everything was in the clear. He was ready for being back into the rotation. So I think part of what you are seeing right now is him shaking off the rust of not having a full spring. And again, it is still April. This is only going to be his third start. If this was the end of May, if this was the middle of June, and it was, start 10 of the season, and there were no signs of improvement, if there were no signs of him looking right and looking like the Merrill Kelly of last year, then I can understand being concerned. I am not going to be concerned, however, about a guy who's made 2 starts, who didn't have a full spring, who's been good all throughout his career, and I think is still dusting off some of the cobwebs.
Yeah, I think that's exactly fair to say. Because when you look at Merrill Kelly, you said it best. I'm not concerned because it's one bad start. His first start wasn't that bad. Like, it's not like they've strung together 2 bad starts and he's gotten rocked both times out.
5 1/3, the 2 earned runs allowed against Baltimore. And I would say in general, it was a fine Merrill Kelly start.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag, but he didn't get shelled like he did in start number 2.
He gave the Diamondbacks a chance to win and they won.
So I have no problem with how he pitched in game number 1. And yeah, it came out. It didn't go well in his second start. I don't expect that to continue.
Right.
It is something that a guy who is late to the season didn't get a full spring. Like, this is not something we haven't seen before. We've seen this year in and year out with a pitcher coming off an injury in spring training. Like, it's just hard for these guys who are so routine based to then step in and not have their full routine all through spring. Like, it's just hard to get ready for the season. And so you expect those clunkers early in the year. It doesn't mean that I think it's going to happen every time with Merrill Kelly. I expect him to be the Merrill Kelly we know.
Yeah, I mean, look, this year he only made 3 starts in spring. He only threw 6 1/3. Last year he made 5 starts through 15 1/3. In 24, it was 4 starts, 12 innings pitched. In 23, he had only 2 starts in spring. He pitched 7 innings, and then he followed that up with probably one of the best years of his career there in 2023, where he went 12-8 in 177 innings and had a 3.29 ERA. So he has had years where he hasn't had a ton of spring work, and it has led to him having a good season. But remember, he was injured. This has not been the perfect ramp up for him to start the year. And to your point, he was good in his first start. I thought I think I gave it an A+, right? I think I graded his first start because considering how he didn't have a full spring, he was joining the team in the middle of the season. I thought gave them a chance to win, looked good in his first start, building blocks from there. Now, unfortunately, he's taken a step backwards in his second start, but let's see here, because if he goes out there tonight and he gives you a similar outing to what he did against Baltimore, well, then 2 of his first 3 starts have been good. And so you're willing to accept this blip on the radar. You're not going to be concerned.
I don't think you think much about it.
No, I really don't think much about what happened against the White Sox. I really don't. When you do it 2 times, 3 times in a row,
if it becomes a multiple start thing, then I think it's something we look into. But This is a team that, as a whole, has given up big innings all year.
And by the way, it's not like that start was his first start, and I can question, was he ready to come back? Is he still, dealing with the injury? Is he 100%? Well, no, he looked good in his first start.
I have proof in his first start. No, it's 100%. It was one of those starts that just didn't go his way from the very beginning.
You just
I
try to
think
throw it
you're going to
away.
get some of those coming back from injury. Do I think he was ready to come back? Yes. And you said it. He threw 9 less innings this year in spring training than he did last year. I think that's a fraction of the work that actually goes into what he's throwing in bullpens, what he's throwing in live ABs, stuff that we won't see from behind the scenes that he also missed out on. Do I think he was ready to come back? Yes. Do I think those starts may happen? Yes.
Yeah, and with Merrill Kelly, I don't think they'll happen too often. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the one blip he had all season and he just continues to cruise and gives the Diamondbacks a chance to win every single night from here on out. I mean, that would be typical Merrill Kelly, right? I mean, he's the type of guy that takes the ball every 5 days for you and gives you a chance to win. And so that's the expectation I have going into tonight. But he is coming off of a very bad start and he needs to have a bounce back. But I kind of expect him to.
Me too. Because
of just the track record. The track record for Merrill Kelly is one of him being able to deliver a quality start for his team. That's what you brought him back for. You brought him back on a multi-year deal because he's old, reliable. He's the guy that's going to take the ball every 5th day and give you a chance to win.
100%.
He didn't do that his last time out. It was kind of a shock. It was kind of a surprise.
He has been the steady hand in this rotation for multiple years. I expect him, as we get closer towards the middle of the season, as we get down the stretch here, he will still be the steady hand for this rotation.
Yeah, I think so too. Hopefully we see that again tonight when they take on the Milwaukee Brewers. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program when we come back. This series, it was a battle of the stars, and it was a battle where the Suns fell short. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends, Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
Casino Arizona is uniquely Arizona. Feel at home with the Valley's one true locals casino, from the welcoming, friendly smiles to the slot win high five celebrations. Picture yourself with the coolest cast at our blackjack tables. Dine like a rock star at our buffet or Choya Steakhouse, where even the steaks are famous. Want to stack up rewards while having fun at your favorite casino? Join Salt River Rewards, and the excitement keeps rising with every return visit. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona. You must be 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Hey, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. An engagement ring might be one of life's biggest purchases. That's why our rings come with an all-inclusive free lifetime warranty that gives you peace of mind without any fine print. How can we offer such an incredible warranty? We take pride in crafting our rings with care and stand behind our quality craftsmanship. After all, this is a family heirloom you'll own forever. Bring in your ring for cleaning, resizing, and repairs anytime you want. We'll make sure it's as sparkly and secure as the day you bought it, fixing prongs, replacing side stones, and so much more. This type of maintenance could cost you $2,000 or more somewhere else. Under our warranty, it's all free. We even protect your diamond. Other warranties don't. Our rings are crafted to last. But in the rare case you lose your diamond, we'll replace it. At Shane Company, your engagement ring purchase isn't just a one-time transaction. We're here to be your jeweler for life, because a friend always has your back. Come by to learn more in store or visit shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
1 here, the lunch break. It is KDU SAM 1060. Chris Schubert. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. And it was a battle of the stars in this series. And it's a battle that the Suns did not win. Because in 4 games, this is what SGA, the MVP of the league, did against the Phoenix Suns. 25 points in 29 minutes in game 1, 37 points in 38 minutes in game 2, 42 points in 38 minutes in game 3, and 31 points in 38 minutes last night for a average of 33.8 points per game in this series against the Phoenix Suns. You compare that to Devin Booker, 23 points in 33 minutes in game 1, 22 points in 40 minutes in game 2, the 16 points in the 39 minutes in game 3, and then last night, actually the most points he scored in the series, 24 points in the 41 minutes last night. But if you'll remember, he had 2 points at halftime without a made field goal. He was 0 for 3 from the field. So he did a lot of that in the second half. So SGA was the star that Oklahoma City needed him to be, and Devin Booker was not. Now, before those of you that are Devin Booker stans come at me today, there are a lot of reasons why SGA did what he did in this series and Devin Booker did not. There's plenty of reasons. Yes, it is true that Oklahoma City decided we're going to trap, we're going to double, we're going to send multiple defenders at Devin Booker, we're going to make it difficult for him to get a shot, we're going to ask everybody else to beat us. That is true. That is a thing that Oklahoma City did. That is a strategy that they deployed in this series. And yes, it did affect Devin Booker's ability to impact. Good, bad, or indifferent, he needs to be the driver. And there's too many times, there's too many stretches, especially in this 4-game series, where he looks like he's a passenger. He was a passenger last night in the first half. That can never happen. That is on Devin himself. He needs to demand more. He needs to demand that he's more involved. That's on Jordan Ott. Because Devin Booker decides to stop being a passenger and is behind the wheel more and is driving the car and is making sure he's the guy, the $60 million player, the superstar. He is more involved and this runs through him. Whatever the case may be, he needs to be better because as he goes, this team is going to go. Devin Booker is central to all of this. This summer needs to be all about Devin Booker, one way or another, whether you're keeping him or whether you're going to entertain the idea of trading him. This entire summer, what philosophy do we need to have? What plays do we need to draw up? What system do we need to run as a coaching staff to put Devin Booker in positions where he can be what SGA was for the Thunder in this series? Because I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you right now, with the money that Devin is making, $60+ million, going to be up as high as $70 million by the time the contract is said and done. He cannot be the passenger that he was in this series. And I'm not blaming him. There's a lot of blame to go around. It's on the coaches. It's on the system. It's on Devin. A lot of people share the blame here. The bottom line is that can't happen again. It just can't. He cannot average just 21 points per game in a postseason series if the Suns want to go further than the play-in and being in the first round. He's the highest paid player on the team. He's going to be the highest paid player on the team if you're going to choose to keep him. And I think this summer is probably the last chance to find the exit ramp here. So if you're going to choose to keep him, if you're going to choose to build around him, you've got to find a way to get more than 21 points per game. And I'm sorry, you can't just throw your hands up in the air and say, well, he was getting double teamed. You can't throw your hands up in the air and say, well, they were trapping and they were sending multiple defenders and he was making the right play and he was passing out of it. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. You are not going to win. Do you think, Producer Evan, can we do a little Q&A here? We've got about a minute to go. Do you mind? Do you mind playing a little fun game with me?
Not at all.
Do you think teams sometimes double Nikola Jokic? Do you think sometimes they make it difficult for him to try to win basketball games?
No, I don't think they've ever.
You don't think they've ever doubled Nikola Jokic? Do you think they've ever doubled Luka Doncic? Do you think they've ever doubled LeBron James? Do you think they've ever tried to double Steph? Do you think they've ever tried to double SGA? Do you think they tried to throw multiple defenders at Wemby? Do you think
every all-star in the league is doubled? Period.
You have to figure out a way to get more out of Devin Booker. So it's either on Devin or it's on Jordan Ott as a head coach or it's some combination of the two. But what you saw in this 4-game series, him being passive, him being a passenger. There was a moment in the game last night. It was a fast break. He was coming up the court. He was wide open for a 3. He drove toward the basket and then passed it off. I'm sorry. You got to take that shot. You're Devin Booker. I'll go down with you. I'll go down with Devin Booker taking a bunch of shots. I'm willing to live with that. What I'm not willing to live with is him being a passenger, because if he is a passenger, this isn't going to work. He's getting paid too much to be a passenger. He is getting paid to be the driver. And if he is not going to be the driver, we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. It's the last NFL news dump. We'll talk more about the Suns, but it's buy or sell next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 800-9-MILLION. 800-9-MILLION. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
A night you don't want to miss. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. North America Tour 2026. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. August 27th. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. An epic night of music. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus, branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
Big fat news. Del yeah. Big Fat Tacos are back at Del Taco. Get these toasty flatbread tacos with seasoned beef, grilled chicken, or carne asada steak. Right now, grab 2 grilled chicken Big Fat Tacos for just $6 small. Need a little something extra? For a limited time, score Del's classic snack tacos with seasoned beef and fresh house grated cheddar for just 59 cents each. Only at Del Taco. Price and participation may vary.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
It is hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan. Producer Evan, how are we feeling today? Is it somber that this is the last NFL news dump for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a little sad.
This is your hour of the show every week.
This is my hour of the show. I'm sorry about the stream issues we've had.
You apparently
today,
you're swimming upstream today.
I'm a little bit swimming upstream with the stream.
Do you know what's happening? Do you have any idea what's going on?
I think it's a StreamYard issue.
So you don't think it's anything that we're doing? You think
because it's throwing me out of StreamYard.
Oh,
it's why we're losing audio.
So it's saying, get out of here.
Get out of here. It does not want producer Evan in StreamYard.
Which it has to know that this is your hour of the show. So it needs.
I don't know why it would do that
Now,
on a Tuesday. That feels really.
Now we have a little bit of an announcement. I shared the announcement with you.
Oh yes, we do have an announcement.
Do I tease it a week out?
I think you tease it a week out.
This is going to be what we hope to be our regular Tuesday at 12 o'clock kind of ordeal. Buy or sell is going to potentially move. It's definitely moving next Tuesday. And I think this guest is going to join us regularly because, I mean, he's one of my favorite people in the industry, in this market. He's a good friend. He's host of the Ben Garcia Show, host of the Locked On Suns podcast. Ben Garcia is going to join us starting next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Hopefully, Tuesdays for here on out.
Hopefully he's our regular Tuesday
He's our
guy.
regular Tuesday guy. And just so you know, we're not just going to talk Suns with him. We're not just going to talk one sport. We're just going to go wherever it takes us.
He's really just kind of jump into the show.
He's basically just going to hang out with us for a segment and talk about whatever's going on, and we'll get his thoughts, pick his brain, and we'll have a good time. So we're looking forward to that next Tuesday. But right now, it is buy or sell.
Ildemaro Vargas.
This guy
will be an all-star.
Ildemaro Vargas will be an all-star.
Oh, boo.
Well, what position is he going to? What position is he going? What position group is he going to be in? That's the first question. Now I'll tell you this. We've seen in the past that if a fan base really wants something,
they will vote him in.
If they really want somebody to be an all-star, they can galvanize as a group and they can make it happen. So I am not putting it past this fan base for a movement to begin to get Ildemaro Vargas to the all-star game. But I think it's an uphill battle. So I'm going to say no because I just don't know if they're going to be able to get it over the finish line. But we've seen in the past, like there was 1 year where there was like 4 Royals in the all-star game.
The entire starting infield was Royals.
And they didn't all deserve to be there on statistics, but the fan base, they just got out and vote. So if you want Ildemaro Vargas to be an all-star, you got to vote as many times as you can. Get everybody in your life to
every
vote.
day. I believe you can fill out 5 a day.
I think you can vote up to 5 times a day. At least that's what it was when I was a kid. If you want that to happen, you got to get everybody in your life 5 times a day voting for Ildemaro Vargas.
Do you remember when you were a kid, you would punch holes
Oh, yeah.
into like a thing at the stadium,
Yep.
and then you would drop it in?
Drop it in, yeah.
That was awesome.
That was great.
That was great. We need to bring that up. Tyler Algier will get the majority of the red zone / goal line work, similar to how he did in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Just prepare yourself accordingly to have Jeremiah Love touchdown props and be ready to lose your mind down there in the red zone. Although, I will say this. I'd have to look. Was Jahmyr Gibbs the primary red zone back in Detroit the last couple of years with Montgomery?
They did it a little differently. I feel like they kind of switched off series more than they did red zone.
Okay. Only because I think there's a world where both guys can be on the field at the same time. Like, I think there's packages where Algier and... I mean, can you just think about this for a second? Because this is where Mike LaFleur, I think as a head coach, really kind of excites me. Think about all the stuff they can do with Jacoby Brissett in shotgun, with Algier and Love to his left and to his right, with McBride, with Marv, with Michael Wilson on the field.
They can do it.
Is that too many players? Did I add too many players on the field? We got 5 offensive linemen. Jacoby Brissett is 6. Michael Wilson, Marv is 7-8. Trey McBride is 9. 10-11 with the 2 running backs. No, we're good.
I'm trying to find
I'm just
this.
making sure I didn't add somebody to the field. I don't want us to get a too many men penalty.
I'm trying to find this.
The breakdown in Detroit?
Yeah.
I mean, I just because they're a team that has a similar setup to what the Cardinals, I think, are going to try to do. And that means Tyler Algier is going to get some run. I mean, Montgomery got a lot of run. As somebody who's been a Jahmyr Gibbs fantasy manager, there have been times where you want Jahmyr Gibbs on the field and he's not for David Montgomery, and it can be frustrating. So I think that's going to happen.
Why don't they just have...
Yeah, well, because it's a statistic that you want in this moment, so it's going to be difficult to find. That's just how it works. The moment the segment is over, I'll find it in 2 seconds because we're not under the pressure of buy or sell
to find it
to get it done. But I think there's going to be some unique packages where both guys are on the field, and good luck as a defense. If everything's working the way that it's supposed to, good luck covering Trey McBride, both running backs, Marv, and big-bodied Michael Wilson on a fade route.
Yeah, we say that all the time.
I know, but on paper, this should be a pretty good red zone offense.
Okay.
It should be really dynamic. You found something.
Yes, I don't know what year this is.
No, see, no, I don't want you to share this with the audience. If you can't check it.
I don't have it.
Yeah, I would just rather you just say, you know what, I'm good.
Gibbs' rookie year was heavy Montgomery, but that's almost too far back to tell. The Cardinals should start Carson Beck week 1 and let him play the entire season.
They're not going to do this.
No, they won't. But it would be awesome if they did.
But I don't. You know what? I'll change my answer.
You don't think they should?
Mike LaFleur has to find success early with this offense. He has to. That's what he was brought in here to do.
They didn't win a game, Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter for the whole season. I'm just telling you I think he's going to be the starter to start the year.
That's fair.
Because I think there is going to be pressure
on... You think right out of the gates, you think there's going to be pressure on LaFleur?
Not that he's going to get fired, but doesn't he have to? Like,
You're saying the offense just has to look better?
Doesn't common sense tell you that the offense has to look better?
It tells you that because...
Like, you brought this guy in here. You drafted a running back number 3 overall. Are we really, and I say we as the collective we, are we really going to tolerate Carson Beck out there?
Probably.
Learning as he goes? No, we're not. We're not going to be okay with that. This team lost, what was it, the last 12 games of the season last year? Whatever it was?
Correct.
We want to see competency. We want to see an offense that actually looks like it knows what it's doing. And I'm sorry, I'll continue to say it. Monty has to win games next year.
Monty has to win games next year.
I don't see a world where if this team goes 1-16 or 2-15, I don't see a world where they bring that GM back to make a pick. I just don't see it.
Doesn't make sense. Merrill Kelly will get the D-backs at least 6 innings tonight.
I'm going to buy the bounce back. I'm going to buy the bounce back from Merrill Kelly. I'm going to buy that this is going to be his best start of the season. Yeah, I'm all in. Again, this is a veteran. This is a guy who's been around the block a couple of times. Like this, he knows how to make adjustments. He's not happy with the way that he pitched against the White Sox, and I don't think that was a case of him coming back too quickly and being still hurt. I think that was a case of he just made some mistakes. Chicago took advantage, and he had a rough outing. So I am predicting the bounce back tonight for Merrill Kelly. Now, Brian says, is the Ben hire final? I mean, Ben, we're not hiring Ben. Ben is just a guest of the program. We're just bringing him on. He says, I applied and dropped the resume at the front desk for you. I think I'd be a good addition. Call the segment, listener roundtable. I mean, what's the phone number for? The show is always a listener roundtable. It's not just me and Evan talking to ourselves for 2 hours. I give out the phone number every single segment.
480-864-1060.
Right. The whole show can be a listener roundtable if you wanted it to be. You can call him whenever you'd like, Brian. We love hearing from you. Also, you did not drop a resume off at the front desk. I check my mail every day. There's no resume in there from you. So you don't need to lie to the people. You don't need to do it. But no, Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starter because I think the offense needs to show signs of it improving. Because here's the other part of it too. Which quarterback? Put aside for just a second the ridiculousness that they took Carson Beck with the 65th overall pick. Just put that to the side for just a second. Which quarterback gives Mike LaFleur the best chance to succeed early? And I don't mean by wins and losses, although if you want to talk about wins and losses, that's fine too. But which quarterback gives Mike LaFleur the best chance to succeed early as a head coach? It's Jacoby Brissett. So that's why he's going to be the starter, because Mike LaFleur needs to find that early success because he needs to get the buy-in from everybody. He needs to grow his confidence as a head coach. Remember, this is his first year doing this. There's going to be a learning curve for him. So he needs to put the best players on the field that give him a chance to find that early success for us to feel like, yes, they've got the right head coach. Could you imagine if Jordan Knott got here and they just didn't play Dylan Brooks? He just came off the bench.
It'd be insane.
We're just not going to play Mark Williams even though we traded for him. We're going to play Kamon
It's a little
Malawach.
bit different, though.
It is, but at the same time, Jordan Knott started his veterans. He started his good players because he needed to build up that credibility. He needed to build that identity. LaFleur has to do the same thing.
But Jacoby Brissett isn't Dylan Brooks. He isn't Mark Williams.
No, but he's the closest thing they have to those players. And at quarterback in that sport, you need somebody who's going to keep the operation on schedule. And I'm sorry, that's not Carson Beck.
Yeah, it's not Carson Beck, but I see it as a way more feasible for Mike LaFleur to run out there and say, we're going to start a young quarterback so we have an answer for next year than Jordan Knott did.
I think if Carson Beck started week 1 of the regular season and it was not because of an injury, that would be, I'd be out.
Both the Celtics.
Now, hold on a second. Just real quick. In a vacuum, if you were trying to get the number 1 overall pick next year, starting Carson Beck for all 17 games is exactly what you would do.
Correct.
But I don't think the GM
wants that.
I don't think the GM can afford to do that. And I don't think that's what a rookie head coach should be doing.
Gotcha.
Again, in a vacuum.
That's where you sit.
In a vacuum, playing
Makes sense.
Carson Beck for all 17 games, trying to tank to get Arch next year is the perfect strategy. But not for a GM that I think's on a hot seat and a head coach who doesn't have the resume. If let's just say, for just imagination for a second, the Cardinals were able to convince John Harbaugh to come here. He could start Carson Beck because you're not firing John Harbaugh after 1 year.
No.
You've got a proven, bona fide head leader as a head coach, just a Hall of Famer at the position. And if he says, you know what, we're just gonna take a year. I got to get a feel for this. So we drafted this kid. We're going to let him play, see what we got. You would give John Harbaugh that courtesy. You would give him that wiggle room.
Correct.
LaFleur doesn't get that wiggle room.
LaFleur,
not only has he not earned it, I don't think this is in the best interest of him growing as a head coach.
I agree.
He needs a veteran quarterback to help him gain confidence and find success and grow as a head coach.
And then you draft your young kid.
And then you draft your young quarterback when you've got your feet underneath you, you've coached for a year, you know where things have gone right, you know where things have gone wrong. And so
I don't
again,
disagree.
In
I
a
don't
vacuum,
disagree.
it makes sense. Not with this specific GM and this specific head coach, which is why I go back to, why did you take him in the first place? Just an awful pick. No offense to Carson, but just an awful pick. Just a bad use of resources.
The Celtics and the Spurs will close out their series tonight.
Boy, it really felt like if Portland was going to get it, and
it was going to be game 4.
It was going to be when Wemby was out, right? That's when they were going to get San Antonio. And they didn't really take full advantage of Wemby being out. And so now with San Antonio up the way that they are, I think they close it out. The same thing with Philly. I think Philly got their moment. They won a game, but I think Boston's just too much. So
they were going to do it without Embiid on the floor. Once he came back, they lost by 40.
Both will close it up here tonight.
That's all I got for you.
There you have it. It's very sad. It's the final NFL news dump for a little bit. We're
going to enjoy it.
Producer Evan,
we're going to recap the entire season.
We are not going to do that.
Yes, we are.
That's going to take way too long. So it is the last NFL news dump for a little bit. Now that the draft is in the rearview mirror, we've got a little bit of time off before OTAs and training camp and all that stuff really kicks up. So producer Evan is going to close out the news dump, hopefully go out with a bang, and we'll get to it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU weekend baseball happening over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils on the diamond this Friday as they travel to Florida to take on UCF. Head coach Willie Bloomquist is ready to start off May baseball with a road win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's game 1 between ASU and the University of Central Florida. Pregame at 2:45 p.m. and first pitch at 3 over on KAZG 1440.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority bookings by calling our heroes over at Zero Res. Hey, it's Audrey. I have personal experience with Zero Res. They came in and completely made my home smell way more fresh than it did. And it's not because I smell funky. It's because, I've got pets, and I had family over during the holidays, so we'll blame it on them. And they came and completely helped change my winter blues into springtime cleans. Zero Res removes all of that winter buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. And don't forget about your air ducts, because they are the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, your indoor air quality is going to suffer. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified from Phoenix's #1 carpet cleaner, starting at just $129. And whenever you mention KDUS, receive a free hallway cleaning and take $75 off your air duct cleanings. Call Zero Res right now at 480-507-2419 or go online at ZeroResPhoenix.com and say you want the KDUS special.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Series.
AAA membership travels with you in any car, whether driver or passenger. It's 24/7 expert help with towing, battery, and branch services across the valley. Join AAA for less than $6 a month and add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
Sports landscape, the prevailing belief is simple. College athletics have become a pay to win. The last few seasons have also made one thing really clear. Spending for elite talent guarantees very little beyond potential draft picks. Money can build a roster. It can't guarantee anything else. Take Ohio State. The Buckeyes had 11 players taken in this year's draft, 7 coming off the board in the first 2 rounds. That doesn't even account for the next wave of NFL talent still in Columbus. Yet Ohio State failed to win the Big Ten or reach the national title game. The same lesson applies on the hardwood. Duke annually recruits as well as anybody, and last season featured both Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple, 2 front-runners for the Rookie of the Year. Yet despite routinely assembling some of basketball's most gifted players, Duke hasn't won a title in more than a decade. NIL can buy talent. It's not buying titles. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When money's tight and you're behind, it can be tough to play catch-up. But Liberty Mutual can help you make a comeback, a fourth-quarter go-ahead drive, if you will. Liberty Mutual is clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with a team that works hard to help keep more of what matters most in your pocket, money. Liberty, 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 Liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent, libertymutual.com. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
All right, it's time. Back here on the lunch break. KDUSAM 1060. It is the final NFL news dump for a little bit. We're getting to that quiet part of the season. So we're not going to force it with the NFL news dump. We always said that the last one would be right after the draft. And we'll kick it back up when the Cardinals open training camp, which, fortunately for us, they're one of the teams that opens camp first.
They get a little bit of a head start.
So, which means we get a little bit of a head start with the NFL news dump. So for the final time before the 2026-27 NFL season, it is the NFL news dump. Producer Evan, take it away.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the NFL news dump all season. It's been a pleasure bringing you the biggest news from around the league and stories that I think are funny or need to be talked about. We will start with maybe the biggest news from the draft via trade. Jonathan Grenard traded to the Eagles and then lands a $100 million extension.
Yeah, the Eagles, they're probably going to trade A.J. Brown, but they're beefing up their pass rush. And listen, Howie usually gets the better end of these deals. He's usually pretty good at making sure he's getting the right pieces into this organization. But this is a make or break year for Nick Sirianni. I think for Jalen Hurts.
For a lot of the Eagles.
Yeah.
Feels like it.
Really important year. And so they go out and get a really impactful player to try to help them go further than they did last year.
The Steelers used the UFA tender on Aaron Rodgers today, officially.
So what this means is they have the right of first refusal. So Rodgers could technically sign with somebody else, but the Steelers have the ability to match that offer. And there's also a part of this tender where once training camp starts, the only team that he can sign with is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there is no sign with somebody else and the Steelers say thanks, but no thanks. No, he can only sign with the Steelers. I'm old enough to remember when this wasn't supposed to drag on this long. Right? He wasn't going to do this whole thing again, Raj.
Well, he's deciding he wanted to retreat. This is classic Raj. And I guarantee you he's going to come back and play for the Steelers.
So this gives the Steelers the ability to get a compensatory draft pick if he signs with another team. It also limits his ability to sign with another team. The Steelers have exclusive negotiating rights for Rodgers if he does not sign with another team by July 22nd or the first day of Pittsburgh's training camp, whichever is later. Another condition of the deal is that Rodgers can also accept a 10% raise off of last year's salary, which would pay him about $15 million a season. Apparently, the Steelers remain confident that he will sign with them, and this is a procedural move, according to one team source that told ESPN.
See? It's just a procedural move. Who cares? The Steelers.
I could not be more over Aaron Rodgers.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say he doesn't sign. Who cares? Well, it's not really the question. Pittsburgh. Aller? Is that who you start? Who cares?
I don't care. I really don't. Mike McCarthy loves Will Howard, so Will Howard will probably start.
Texans, there's been recent rumors about Nico Collins being traded. They came out today.
No.
Absolutely not.
Say no, not moving. Not moving our number one wide receiver. I mean, there's a... Maybe this is really basic. We've got to get C.J. Stroud back on track.
You think Nico would get more than A.J. Brown would in a trade? He's younger.
He is younger. He doesn't have the production that A.J. does. I don't know. I just know that if I was sitting in Houston's chair, I got to get C.J. Stroud back on track. Am I really going to trade the number one wide receiver that can help that happen? Like that,
you can't.
That feels like
it's way too important to get him back on the right page. Yeah,
it feels like I'm doing myself a disservice. Even if somebody overpaid, for Nico Collins, I would needed to have done this deal before the draft.
Yeah, you would want to get it done so that at least I could take a receiver.
I could take a receiver.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense.
I mean,
unless I get a receiver back in the trade.
If a team is trading for Nico Collins, they probably don't have a lot of receivers to trade.
You would imagine so, yes.
Let me look at Houston's draft class. Rutledge, Hayden McDonald, man, their first two picks are really good. Klein, the tight end out of Michigan. They took Louis Bond, the wide receiver out of Boston College, with a 6th-round pick. See, no, this would have needed to be done before the draft, so that I could have drafted a wide receiver to replace Nico Collins. So, no thank you. I'm good.
I think you're probably
I'm good.
In the correct area.
I'm good.
I don't know how you can trade him. I think Nico Collins is a complete stud.
No, right. He's a wide receiver one, but we've seen wide receiver ones move before. It's not that part of it. It's C.J. Stroud looked broken towards the end last year.
Correct.
I mean,
completely
the playoff game, it was
the worst it has ever looked in the last 3 weeks. And then in the playoff game was one of the worst performances I had seen in a win in a long time.
So the way we get him back on track is not by
trading now
the talent in that room.
Correct. I agree. Ravens signed undrafted quarterback Diego Pavia.
You know what? Perfect.
Who cares?
It's a perfect use for that drop. I mean, undersized. Yeah. I think his ego is going to get him in trouble. I mean, I'm surprised Baltimore's the team that decided to do this.
I am too. It doesn't feel like a them move. It doesn't feel like a Baltimore move at all.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Post-draft, the betting favorites.
Has anyone done a redraft of the 2026 NFL draft?
I have not seen one yet. Post-draft.
You know what I saw a lot of today? I saw a lot of way too early 2027 mocks.
Yes.
And I saw one that had Arch Manning number 1 overall to the Arizona Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Where's my guy, Code? Where is he? The March for Manning is on.
Mope for Manning.
Mope for Manning. I think the March for Manning. Atrocious for Arch. What else do we got? Awful for Arch. I mean, we can create a lot of them. Mock for Manning. Okay.
Mock for Manning.
That's good, Code. I like that.
Mope for Manning.
I saw another mock draft that had them taking Dante Moore, number 1 overall.
Okay.
They had Arch falling to number 3.
Don't for Dante.
To the New York Jets, which would be tough for me.
Because you hate Arch.
I don't.
Yes, you do. You're rooting against Arch.
I don't hate Arch. I'm just not as sold as a lot of other people are on him as a quarterback prospect. We got a lot of time. We got a whole college football season for him to change my opinion.
Post-draft, the NFL has updated their Super Bowl odds.
Cardinals. Worst odds in football would be my guess.
Yes, currently the worst odds in football. They are plus 40,000. The next closest team, the Dolphins, plus 30,000.
You want to talk about a wide receiver room since we were talking about Houston's? Have you seen Miami's wide receiver room?
It might be the worst I've ever seen. I can't believe they didn't draft a receiver.
Do you think Malik Willis wants a redo?
Yes, I was going to say that too. Poor Malik Willis.
I mean, he could have been playing with Jeremiah Love and Marv and Trey McBride.
Do we
Michael
know that
Wilson.
they offered him anything?
And they had to.
We say that.
They had to. It's the only thing that makes sense as to why the pivot was so bad. That they just panicked. They had all their eggs in the basket of Malik Willis, and then when he said no and picked Miami,
we say they pivoted. I don't know that they did.
They rolled out the backup plan of Gardner Minshew and Tyler Algier,
which was, I thought, a perfect plan. You didn't like it?
Well, the original backup plan was Jimmy Garoppolo, but apparently that fell through too.
You didn't like the backup plans
of Gardner Minshew? Listen, I have a soft spot for Minshew mania.
Me too. And then he came to Philadelphia. And I was like, that's a really good backup for the Eagles. They did a really nice job. I got to tell you something about Garner that I never knew until you really sat down and watched him. Terrible arm. Very weak.
We can't get it down the field.
We cannot zip it in there. The Rams are still the favorites. Seattle behind them. Buffalo, Baltimore, then Kansas City, San Francisco, Philadelphia. Those are your top 8 teams that are for the Super Bowl odds.
Yeah, that feels about right. I haven't really, just to be honest with everybody, I haven't really given a lot of thought to my first Schubert standings for 2020, for 2026.
I can tell you who's at the top of mine.
But those teams would all be in there.
Seattle.
Seattle will probably be number 1 as the defending Super Bowl champions. I think they've earned that right.
It's always kind of been my rule.
Yeah, I think.
And if the Super Bowl champion, it doesn't matter how they win. If they keep winning until they lose a game, they're at 1.
I would agree that if we're doing a pre-ranking going into the year, until the defending champs show me a reason to not put them number 1, they're going to stay number 1.
Okay.
I would agree. And I'm going to learn from my mistake of last year when I said that they were going to be the worst team in the division. That's when we should have known as a show. Our predictions are not very good. Because we had Seattle finishing last in the division, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. Probably should have learned there.
And won the division.
Won the division, and then won the whole thing.
You know who I think is going to have a tough year this year? I think Tampa Bay is going to have a tough year.
Well, that's okay. You have a bias because you root for a team in that division.
I also root for Tampa.
Yeah, but you root for Carolina. We all know where your heart lies, okay? I think you're more of a Panther fan than you are an Eagle fan at this point.
I am not.
I mean, I think you are more.
If I talk about the Eagles more, I get the homer.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I have no affiliation to Carolina or the Panthers. I just love Bryce.
Is that it? Is that no? You know what? Going out on a Bryce conversation is kind of how the NFL news dump should end.
That's all I got.
Yeah, it being your segment. Yeah, that's fitting. That's fitting for the NFL news dump.
You started it with the Panthers.
That was very fitting for I'm kind of okay with a little break from the NFL news dump for a little bit until training.
I didn't even bring him up.
I think I'm good. I'm glad that's where we're going to leave it. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back for the Suns, the hard work starts today. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State head basketball coach.
I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ispia. And that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him. Number two,
so they offered you the head coaching job?
Well, we talked seriously about it. Let's say that.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
My Chemical Romance, the Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun. Twin Arrows. The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
here on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert, producer Evan hanging out with you today here on the show. And producer Evan read it earlier, but I do think it bears repeating the tweet that Suns owner Matt Ishbia put out earlier this morning. Quote, losing is never easy, but I feel really good today about our team, and I'm already thinking about where we go from here. I'm so proud of this season and want to thank every single person who made this year possible. First, thank you to all the fans who supported our every team every single day, and the players, coaches, front office, and entire organization who worked so hard to give our community a team to be proud of. So many fans have told me how much they loved cheering on this team, and we're proud of how we competed for 48 minutes every game. This season introduced a new era of Suns basketball, and we have a lot more work to do, which I am truly excited about, and we are just getting started, end quote. And I think that sums up my feelings from the open of the show. I am appreciative of what this season was. It beat every expectation, even the ones I had, and I was somebody that was more positive on what I thought this season could be. I'm appreciative of the identity, and I am appreciative of they told us what they were going to do, and then they backed it up. So now there is trust that I have in them to get this right. That doesn't mean if they make a move that I'm a little uneasy about, I'll share my feelings, but they have earned the trust from what they did this year. We've got to let the summer play out. They've earned it. They've earned the trust because they backed up their words. They backed up the words of, we're going to build a team you can be proud of. We're going to build a team that has a very clear identity. We're going to build a team that's going to be gritty, that's going to be tough, that's going to play great defense, that's going to dive for every loose ball. And they did that. They backed it up. But now the real work starts. I would say the hard work starts. Lots of decisions to make. Are you going to bring back Mark Williams? Are you going to bring back Colin Gillespie? Are you going to bring back Jordan Goodwin? If you're going to bring back multiple of those guys, which ones do you prioritize first? You're right now under the luxury tax. You're under the aprons, but very quickly you're going to get over the tax and over these aprons. You only have the 47th overall pick in the 2026 draft. On draft night, your 2027 first becomes available to trade. Your 2033 first becomes available to trade. Do you utilize those selections to make this team better? What decisions, what pinch points do they think need to change? Because I think we can have a conversation on this program, and we've done so every day, about what we think is wrong with this team, where we think they went wrong down the stretch, where we think they need to grow as a team. But what do they think? What moves are they going to be able to make? They are still up against it money-wise. They are still up against it asset-wise. They do have some exemptions that they can use that they haven't had in the past, so that can allow Brian Gregory to get more creative. But this is going to be a more important offseason than last offseason for Brian Gregory. And I appreciate that Matt Ishbia in that tweet says, we are very aware that this is just the start. This is just a nice opening act, but we have more work to do. And I think, and I don't want to speak for Matt here because he didn't really say it in the tweet, but I think it's fair to say he appreciates the trust that they now have earned back because of what they did this year, and he doesn't take that for granted. Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott don't take that for granted. They understand that it was hard work to win 45 games. It was hard work to put this team in the playoffs. But now they have the hard work of meeting the new expectations, of validating the new trust that they've earned. So I got to tell you, I am so amped up, and I am so excited for this offseason. I'm so excited to see what this new vision for this team is going to look like. Last year, it was paint by numbers. Last year, it was cookie cutter. Trade Durant, figure out what you're going to do with Bradley Beal. That was it. This year, there's more options, and I hope they explore all of those options, and I feel like they're going to. And that opens up a world of possibilities. And to me, it opens up a world of excitement for what this team can look like. Again, I think this roster is going to look very different opening night next year than it does as we sit here today, closing up the book on this season. And so I'm just ready for the journey. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what they're able to cook up here in the offseason. I am
the alignment.
Let's go. Brian Gregory, let's ride. Let's see what you got up your sleeve to try to make this team even better next season. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. We've got one more before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour. It is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. We call them the leftovers, and we'll get to them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Friday, August 14th, Mortgage Matchup Center. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
ASU Weekend Baseball happening over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils on the diamond this Friday as they travel to Florida to take on UCF. Head coach Willie Bloomquist is ready to start off May baseball with a road win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's game one between ASU and the University of Central Florida. Pregame at 2:45 p.m. and first pitch at 3 over on KAZG 1440.
Closing up the Tuesday edition of the show. It is time for the leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. Don't worry, this isn't going anywhere. Producer Evan, you're going to have this segment till the end of time.
I love that. Do you want to guess where we're starting today?
I'm going to take a guess that you, because the leftovers is your baby, it's your segment, that you are going to make us talk about the Phillies firing Rob Thompson and making Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, the new manager.
That was kind of what I was going to open with.
I was hoping that you would start with the Pittsburgh Penguins picking up a big win last night to force a Game 6.
Yeah, the Penguins forced Game 6.
Because
congratulations to Sydney. What a classy move.
Philly Sports Corner.
What a classy move from the Flyers organization last night to let Crosby get his 100th career playoff win in his second to last playoff game. Classy organization. This is the same organization that ended Mario Lemieux's career in Game 6. They'll end now Sidney Crosby's in Game 6. So just kind of rewriting history. Very classy move from the Flyers last night.
4 words that I would be very scared of if I were you?
Correct.
Sidney Crosby, Game 7.
Yeah.
I would be petrified.
I mean, they got to get to Game 7.
No, I'm just saying.
This isn't.
If
and
they get there.
Here's the interesting thing, too. This isn't the first time this exact scenario has happened.
All I'm saying is if they get there, I would be worried.
Yeah, they have to get there.
I would panic.
Right, so.
You're up 3-0.
Hey, you're up 3-0.
It's 3-2 now.
You got a young team. You knew they were going to get one. I think that's fair to say. You knew they were going to get one.
They've got more than one so far.
And so now they have two, which congratulations to the Penguins. You started this, by the way.
Philly Sports Corner.
You started this. But anyway, so they got two. Congratulations. They won at home. They got to go back to Philadelphia. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, Phillies made a change at manager today.
Tried to hire Alex Cora first. Alex Cora said.
They did. Interesting, huh?
He said, I'm good. I'm going to hang out with my family. Which I think we said this yesterday. Maybe I didn't say it on the air. But Alex Cora can basically have whatever job he wants in November. He's not going to take a job in the middle of the season.
No.
He's going to collect that nice paycheck because he has a big contract from Boston. And so he's going to collect every dime of it for this year. And then he'll sign a new deal. And so he'll offset what Boston would be paying him next year. But he's going to collect every penny the rest of this season.
ESPN released a story today. The MLB All April team.
I'm sorry, ESPN did the All MLB April team? Ildemaro Vargas.
Ildemaro Vargas. I was going to start with catcher.
Okay. The best catcher.
Ildemaro Vargas not on.
Sal Stewart.
Sal Stewart listed as a player to watch, but not the best catcher. They also have Sal Stewart listed at first base.
He came up as a catcher. I don't know if he's playing first base or not. I don't know.
Drake Baldwin.
Okay.
Dalton Rushing listed as.
Well, Rushing had a good start to the year, yeah.
Dalton Rushing, I'm out on him.
Why?
Have you not seen everything he's been doing over the last few days?
No.
Okay. So it starts last week. Is
this going to be a long story? I'd like to get to the rest of the guys in April. I'm a little worried that if we go to
first base,
we go two left turn here, we're not going to get to all these guys. First base, Ildemaro Vargas.
No.
What are we doing? Ben Rice.
Ben Rice, first base. Sal Stewart is the player to watch. Second base.
Who's been setting the world on fire at second base? I don't know.
Nico Horner.
Oh, he's had a good start to the year, yeah.
Player to watch, Xavier Edwards of the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, okay.
At third base.
Third base. You know, this is really hard when you put me under the pressure.
This is an interesting one because he's played third and shortstop.
He's played third and shortstop. Well, it's not Bo Bichette because he's not very good so far.
No, he's actually listed in the disappointing player category.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's played third and short, this guy. This guy's moved around a little bit.
Moved around a little bit.
American League or National League?
American League.
American League, moving around a little bit, playing a little third, a little shortstop. I don't know.
It's the 21-year-old rookie, Kevin McGonigal.
Yeah, probably should have gotten that one.
Player to watch, Junior Caminero of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay.
At shortstop.
Bobby Witt?
No.
CJ Abrams is having a good start to the year.
CJ Abrams listed as the player to watch.
Yeah, CJ Abrams having a really good start to the year. Him and James Wood
have been great.
Have been really good. I mean, the Washington Nationals score a ton. They just give up a ton.
I was going to say that offense pretty good.
Yeah, their rotation and bullpen are really bad.
Really bad.
So if it's not CJ Abrams, American League or National League?
Stay in the National League.
Stay in the National League. Shortstop. Shortstop in the National League. Shortstop in the National League. Mookie Betts is hurt. It's not Perdomo. It's not Willie Adames. It's nobody on the Rockies. Tovar's not having a good start to the year. I think I can rule out that division. So now I got to go to the Central. Cardinals. Oh, Mason Wynn's pretty good. But
not Mason.
But he's more of a defense first guy. Bryce Terang plays second. Not Dansby Swanson, although he's having a good start to the year. Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie De La Cruz as the shortstop pick in left field.
Left field.
American League.
Randy?
Not Randy.
Okay. Judge is going to be either the right fielder or the DH because he's having a great start to the year. Michael Trout's going to be the center fielder, I would hope.
No, he is not.
Trout is not an outfielder at all.
He's not listed under.
He's not
any
listed at all.
No.
You can take this list and throw it in the trash. I mean, what are we even doing?
He is not listed at all.
Then you know what? I'm done. I'm good.
Do you want me to read you the rest?
Yeah, please. Because if Mike Trout, I mean, I don't know who they could put in center field. That's go ahead.
In left, it's Riley Green, with the player to watch being Chandler Simpson.
I like Chandler Simpson. He's
in
on my
center
fantasy
field,
team.
it's Andy Pages.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What are we doing here? Michael Trout.
And your player to watch is O'Neal Cruz.
So he doesn't even get the consolation prize of being the player to watch. He's on pace for 50 home runs.
In right field is James Wood.
He's having a good year.
And the player to watch is Jordan Walker.
Walker's starting to hit the ball on the ground a little bit more. His ground ball rate's starting
to creep up again.
And that's the problem. He was lifting the ball to start the year and just crushing home runs, but now he's starting to put the ball on the ground. And the Cardinals are going to need him to be a star if they're going to turn this around quickly.
Designated hitter?
Judge?
No. He would be considered a right fielder.
Ohtani?
No. Ohtani's been bad to start.
I know. That's why you're looking at me like I should know this answer. I should know this answer.
Should. American League.
American League DH. Brent Rooker?
No. Stay in that division.
Stay in that division.
I mean, come on.
Stay in that division.
Big left-handed bat.
Oh, Yordan Alvarez.
There you go.
Yordan Alvarez.
As far as the starting pitcher?
I don't think we... Skubal?
No, Jose Soriano.
Oh, yeah.
Figured they wanted to pick a different name. And the reliever?
Mason Miller.
There it is.
Mason Miller will be the selection there. All right, that's fun. It's fun to see how teams get off to good starts and who's having good starts to the year and see if they can finish those good starts and have good seasons. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and